has low battery. My cat's about to join me because she is one. She's 11 years old, but does not like fireworks. So, how's everybody been? I don't see anybody in the chat. I don't know who's live right now. I was going to go live with a very weird side story. It involves new Scientologists from convicted felons. They can bunk with the one that recruited them when they were released. That's fine with me. Keep auditing that person because what they're convicted of is, insane. So my computer, for some reason, keeps going on the fritz, and then told me my camera was connected to something else. And so I just shut it off and gave it a break. But I wanted to get on here because what a week. I don't know about anybody else, but I was completely sidetracked by all my research that I've been doing. I have about 5 or 6 videos that I could do with the research that I've gained. I wanted to talk about all the GoFundMe pages. And I now can't find the Austin org one, but Austin posted another GoFundMe page for the Way to Happiness. Like I said in another video, Hungary, Budapest has 20,000 booklets to disperse, and they're putting them all in the mail, shipping them all off. So I have not checked their stats, but they're counting it, and it's at least 4,000 they've sent off since last week. If you can hear my cat, I'm sorry. She's in my lap because of all the fireworks that are still going off this morning. Don't know why. Guess kids need to do something. But the live that I wanted to do is about a connection with, forgot his name. I think his last name's Riley, Joe Riley. He was caught on live stream with Dianetics in Los Gatos, California, by Confident Chris. And Aaron had posted his picture and said, hey, this is the Sea Org. I happened to look him up, and a convicted felon associated with a convicted felon popped up with a 1997 conviction of, let me get this right. Again, I want to do this right with all my research. So in the early 90s and mid 90s, there was all these bombings, and the most famous one is Oklahoma City. And in 1997, this anti-government guy in Yuba County, so that is close by Sacramento City, or county. And so he eventually became a Scientologist in jail. But he was convicted of, let me say this. So him and his group, there was a discovery of a 500-pound cache of explosives. This is the Los Angeles Times, by the way, in 1997. The latest arrest brought the total in custody to 6. One of them One of the men, William Gawler, 34, is a supporter of anti-government militia groups, and the other 5 are acquaintances of Gawler, Yuba County Undersheriff said. So the explosives, known as Petrogel, were stolen from a mining company in Montana, but he declined to name the company or give its locations. The explosives were manufactured this year, 1997, and then he said, adding that he did not know when they were stolen. One of their bunkers, and this is the undersheriff talking, one of their bunkers had been entered and explosives removed. We don't know how much, and we don't know if it was recovered yesterday was the total amount. Great report. So Gawler, it doesn't matter to me, was arrested after explosives stored in a tree outside his home detonated Sunday in Olivehurst, a few miles southeast of Yuba City and 40 miles north of Sacramento, ripping through his house and breaking windows 2 blocks away. Oh my God. I can't get a break, guys. I know she's really, really upset because of she's 11 years old. She's 20 pounds. She has to do a pull-up. My cat's so funny. So Gawler was treated for a neck injury. This is back in 1997, guys. And his 2-year-old daughter suffered a head cut in the explosion. Like, oh my gosh. He was arrested on charges of using a destructive device, child cruelty, and possessing a destructive device causing mayhem and bodily harm. This was LA Times, guys. Los Angeles reported on this. I will do a better thing. I just wanted to give you guys a clip view of the weird story I found, because all I was looking up was the Sea Org member. And then it brings up William Robert Gawler, and his crimes, guys, include rape, robbery, like he's a convicted felon. So for him to have this much, 500 pounds would take out a few blocks. It goes over it on other ones that I actually will present to you. I just printed out the LA Times ones because it was like, we don't know when, we don't know why, we don't know how much, if we got it all. Great reporting. So, so when my camera, like I'm making it calm down, it has been between 107 and 111 degrees Fahrenheit here in Northern California. So that has not been fun. So I'm hoping to go live with this information. I have, like I said before, I have tons of GoFundMe pages. And Tampa has recruited at least 3 new people since May, young adults. And then I also wanted to talk about some of the mapping that I've been doing and talk about what I found through that research. So lots happening, but lots happened this week. Plus, I don't know if you guys know, but I've been getting acupuncture. I was about to post the picture of my hand Wednesday. It's in between my fingers, like and my wrist. It's painful. When they say a little sensitive, no, that's not a little sensitive. That hurts like hell. So I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with the drama of SBTV. And just hate ensues. And also had to get involved because I was one of the only ones that knew more information about Ashley's case in San Francisco, and now Aaron is being called a transphobic, and that's when I spoke up. It's been 2 months, and I don't mean to go behind someone's back. But the truth needs to be out there because people are actually believing this, and more hate is being brought up. Um, so, and I'm not saying Aaron's right. We're saying meth induced. There was, I think both things were said wrongly, but when you intentionally want to discredit someone, like DOA has with Saul Goodman, YouTube, and the other, it, if I know it's not true, I'm going to speak up. Um, that is not the reason why. And yeah, I think Ashley actually needs to speak up. But if she doesn't want to, she doesn't, But I sent both DOA and Aaron the same email, forwarding it to DOA saying, I'm emailing you this your ass this too. So I'm not talking behind one another's backs. Because, you know, it's just not right if to gather up people and ensue hate, and I call it like pitchforks and like, who do we need to attack? That's that. We're not in high school. We're not in middle school. I'm in my 40s. I don't have time for that. Like I said, I'm getting stabbed in my hand. So, that's really sad. And I understand that amount of stress happening and having, I think he said, not OCD, it's ADHD. I'm not sure. And I'm not diagnosing or saying, but I think that has a lot to do with it. And I just hope instead of getting on, online, that's not helpful. And it's not like you have to do everything behind the scenes. You're, of course, you're free to say what you want, do what you want, but there's a limit when you start pretty much assassinating someone's character without proof, and you're just, especially nowadays with, especially during Gay Pride Month. I mean, no, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. If any of it's, yeah, so I don't know, but yeah, it's been a rough week, guys. How have you been? Anybody? How was everybody's 4th of July? Good. I didn't get much sleep last night. I mean, they're still going off this morning at 7. So everybody has been partying it up, I guess. So, yeah. So I hope I'm not okay with his doings. And that's really sad. But I know I was in his chat, DOA's chat, and it was bad. Everybody was rallying up each other, and just, it's all hate. And then, oh, there's this one thing. Like, now there's an accusation that Barb is emailing and is more of a double agent. I don't get that. And then, and one person was saying she has proof. It just was, it's all conspiracy theories and anger towards people and getting other people to be angry. So, yeah, I don't get where all this hate is coming from, and why. I mean, he stated he wanted to go after the SBTV Foundation. I'm just floored with some of the things that he said. Hi to Sam. Hi, Sammy. Yeah, Kimmy, I'm. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was getting ready for a live on my computer, but my computer camera was saying it was connected to something else, and then buttons wouldn't work, so I just shut it off and calmed it down. But I was like, instead of looking dead, I needed... Oh, now my puppy's gonna join me. The kitty left me. She's been frustrated with all the fireworks going off even at 7 a.m. 7 a.m., guys. Yes, I did. And I even saw... It's the one time I saw Dark Zero Tony, and he has it up even though they took it all down, and I rewatched it, and I'm like, the only one yelling was Lara. So and you could hear DOA in the background before she paused it. I'm just like, and now I know why everybody hates Zero Tony. Like, some of the things are so inappropriate that I'm like, say what? But I wanted to be able to rewatch that because I watched it live and everything was intensified, and I'm like, this needs to be behind the scenes. These guys have so much heartache from what they've been through individually and family-wise. No, and I don't blame her. I don't blame her for, you know, getting upset and getting loud. I don't blame her. But when someone's saying, hey, I don't like how this person treated that other person, great example of abuse and narcissistic behavior. On whose behalf? They were having a conversation, and he was trying to clear things up because he said it was not the same thing that was said a couple hours ago or done. And double dipping into fundraisers. I'm actually shocked by what I've seen this week with other streamers, and they were talking about that, but then it sidetracked. So I watched it again. There's a couple people that have it up on their things, and I wanted to get another view. And Lara's very strong voiced, and so is Aaron. And with a disagreement. Oh, see, and I wasn't in the chat. I was watching this live. But I think things crossed the line, and it needs to, there needs to be a lot of healing. They've been through so much, and it shouldn't involve all of us or even someone stirring the pot. They're adults. They, whether, you know, whatever happens, they're adults. And they don't need an audience to go through all their trauma and all their talk and then judge who said something wrong. And I think that's for the person saying, hey, I didn't like what you said there or how you said it. That's when adults have communication, compassion, and try to listen to the other side. Because if you don't want to listen to the other side, exactly, Kimmy. I just don't think it should involve all of us, because it is none of our business. I mean, it's hard enough to go through this life and expose Scientology at everybody's else's emotions heightened and everything, and judging other people's character or their mistakes, and then condemning them for their mistakes. We're all flawed. I don't know what makes someone else better to say, hey, you did this wrong, you should be canceled. So, yeah, when I watched it, Laura and Aaron were talking over everyone. So it wasn't just Aaron. Because those two are powerhouses with their feelings and points of view. And if it's not me to judge, and I don't think it's anybody else's to pinpoint who's at fault, who said what wrong. Yeah. So severe that sadly when I was suicidal from age 5 to 14. So when you already have that state of mind that you can end it all, that nothing else is going to fix it, that's it's not hard to go there. And she stated that it brought her to that point. And it's so hard to hear because it was a conversation of just whether or not and why, where the funds went to. She got her shot, and why is it being brought up by somebody else? Because usually how it is done in privacy with the foundation giving their funds or fundraiser. It is the only way to talk to a personality like that, never in private. Trust me, they've had plenty of private conversations. They've gone through so much. If she wasn't involved in the transactions or like why, and someone else was saying something different, especially publicly, wouldn't you want to set the record straight? So, yeah, it's one of those things. If someone wants to hate on someone, because of the conversation he has with very close people that he would consider sisters, siblings talk like that. And there's more of a deeper emotional connection with survivors of this cult. You think that conversation was abuse? See, and I don't see it that way. So it's just, it's unfortunate that it was done so publicly that everybody now jumps on views and their opinions and takes sides. I don't think there is a side to take on this conversation. It got heated, mainly because one person started projecting their voice louder, and then the other person, with their personality, got more, not abrasive, but more to the point, blunt. You don't think that Laura expressed herself? Because those two are very powerful with their emotions and everything. Liz isn't. And so even with both of those two wanting to make a point, and who was going to be the kind of like the monitor or the person asking the questions, interviewing, it was like, go back and find it. She interrupts Liz too. So it ended up being a two-way conversation with three people, and one feeling really go into a dark place and shut down. And so did Laura. Laura broke down crying. And Aaron realized at the end, he's like, no, don't go, I'm leaving. I think they're all hurt from that conversation. Yes, Kimmy, it was so bad. It's stirring the pot so bad with outsiders and all these conspiracies, and mainly who is against who, and if you don't talk to that person, yeah, you're with me or against me. And Aaron saying, meth induced, and then all of a sudden now, gosh, it's just, it needs to stop. This is like teenagers in playing telephone. And did you hear about this? No, especially when you have so much trauma in your background and you're already in a heightened state of talking about sorry, I don't know how to like post things. Yeah, so the thing about Aaron, he wanted to get the story straight because it sounded like the SBTV Foundation wasn't going to help. And that's talking bad about a foundation, and you can't just, yeah. And you do have the right to listen to whoever you want. I mean, they didn't have to bring Aaron on. They can be like, Aaron, this is a girl's moment. I'm not even sending you the link. No, we don't need, no, this is our moment. Because Laura is strong enough to say back off. So I just think it went sideways really quick, and with someone in the background also saying, say this, do this. It's, gosh, it's kind of like when you have siblings or a married couple or a relationship and someone's saying to someone else, hey, I have this, and then they interject themselves. Or they're trying to spread misinformation. Yeah, how was the shots paid for? But it was for fundraising. But Aaron didn't go off until misinformation was being given out. I've had the same issue with the misinformation that was given out by DOA's accusation that Aaron Smith Levin is transphobic. That's why he didn't want to help Ashley. Those are his words. It is disgusting. Okay, but it's not up. So the chat, I never was in the chat. I was watching it live without the chat being up. In the beginning when, so I've been watching the SBTV, not even SBTV. I was watching the Aftermath Foundation, all four of them, last summer. And then all of a sudden, Aaron wasn't doing the same shows with them. And then Mike Rinder made a comment about, well, if you want a channel where they wear hats, it's a different channel. It's not this channel. Like, he said it really snarky, and I was like, something's going on. And then by October, that's when more came out that, and November, definitely, okay, he's left. But I knew there was a rift because they weren't doing lives together anymore. And then when Streets and them, I wasn't watching TikTok, or I don't like TikTok. I can't even. So it's very interesting to see how everybody has evolved, and so many variables, like us, entities that are adding to the chaos instead of having more of a back sounding board of, hey, what do you need? And it's not all bad. There are a lot of good people in here. So that's that. It would have been fair and ethical. Yes, Kimmy, that's what I was afraid of, because it doesn't make any sense, because their conversation about having, hey, it came out of pocket, so it should just go to her pocket. Well, it wasn't out of pocket for her. So then it was more of, I'm watching this going, where's the moral? What is happening? But it brought up great conversations to have, because I have a 15-year-old, of what would you do if this happened? Or what do you think if a business transaction was like that? The funds were allocated to this, but your business partner decided to go, yes, we agreed, we pulled our money, but they spent it on that. What, or like, it's just, oh, are these people children? Oh, it's gone so far out of line, with her being disinvited. Unbelievable. Because if she didn't want to go, versus I'll go, but you know what? This is for Tony. I'm putting all, everything I have towards somebody else, disagreement. a hatred, whatever it is, I'm here for Natalie. I do not know the full story, but I do understand if someone asked for their money back, because a plane ticket or plane, so I don't, it's almost like who's the bad person in this? And there's really no bad person, not in my eyes. That person had a right to ask, she had a right to ask, they had a right to give. That money's not allocated to that certain thing. So it sucks because it's a plane ticket, but you still have a plane ticket, but you're going to keep the money too. So that's where it's so convoluted. Yeah. Well, and then she said even if it was not for the shots, she gets ahead. And so I get where she's thinking, hey, this person could really use the money. But if it was a fundraiser, can't just give money for a specific reason and then say, oh, it wasn't for that. Who could tell Liz she would cause attention and Liz would listen? I don't know. And that's where it gets to be really a hard place to be, because it did not need to escalate to a place where you're not going to talk for a little while. It can be amended. It's if they wanted, that's up to them. But that's a hard place to be when you lost the love of your life. And then there's all this chaos going on and be like, can you, that's not aloha. Can you go that way with that? That's such a hard thing to say or do or think about. And I get if Natalie doesn't want to think about that, but living minute by minute. I mean, she's devastated, and she doesn't need this crap either. I wouldn't want to bring this around her. I would feel like I'm misdirecting the help she needs, the support she needs, because Tony wanted it to be a celebration. It's amazing that he wanted it. He wasn't afraid to pass away. Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. Some people, write it off as a full donation. But this is where who's the bad person? It's just a situation where people were like, hey, wait a minute, that was specifically for this. And, maybe they weren't fully able to pay that. Maybe that was a bill, but they thought Liz deserved to, I'm not ahead. I need an AC. It's 85 degrees in my freaking house right now. Because, hey, but I still have some memberships. Close-knit group, as they all portray, or it wouldn't have escalated. Yes. Oh, you don't think they're a close-knit group? I think they're more like siblings. I just don't think Aaron like talking behind his back and misconstruing. Hi, Corn Freak! I've seen the video reposted, though I also see they're live. Yeah, Corn, that's why I rewatched it last night. Thinking maybe I missed something. It's not as heated as I thought at first, when I first saw it live. When I came back to it, it's like they were very adamant with their points. And then because she kept, Aaron brought up DOA. It because DOA was in the background. You hear him, and then she silence. So it's like, whoa, wait a minute. There should not be an extra person that does not have this type of trauma, is not involved with the foundation or with getting shots. No, don't stir the pot. Don't stir the pot. My gosh. If you want a valid question, then you bring it up as a question, but you don't bring it up a question for someone else to ask. That's where rumors and miscommunication happen. Are we certain it was? Yeah, I don't know, Kimmy. I do not know. That was, I don't know if it was an organizer of hers, because right now she's not even, she's, it breaks my heart with Natalie. Gosh. I think we would all be so devastated if we had a my Tony. Like, maybe you do have a my Tony in your life. I've been married for 20 years, and I think if I did lose him, my world would be completely upside down. But it's one of those where, like, the passion was still, you know how, like, relationships are ebbs and flow. I'm like, yeah, you're there. That's where I'm at. But with her, I mean, Tony was amazing human being. And I've only knew him a very short time, and, watched him like everyone else. So this word has been chosen from who are, I couldn't do it, and I would not. Yeah, okay. Her friend, I think, is being used too loosely. Hi, Saul. I was gonna go live on my computer, but my computer was doing something weird with the camera. I have a weird connection with the one guy that was caught on live stream, Confident Chris's live stream. And he's a Sea Org member, so there's a couple of new Scientologists in the jail. Formally request that the agitator be referred to as Reese Bobby. Reese Bobby? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. Laura keeps, Laura still is defending Aaron behind the scenes, DOA said. Even after that live. So it's one of those things where it was an argument, miscommunication, someone stirring the pot, and we're all human. I mean, we're all coming with different emotions and different, especially with them being born into this psychotic world, warped. You know what I mean? I can't even. So he shouldn't have went that personal with 2% of it, but there is that 20. I think everybody has that 20%, or max 20% when you get really pissed off. I know I have, I try not to do it with my teen because I turn into my mother, and you don't want to know my, oh, that's where it turned. But he wanted to make sure, or I don't know. I'm not going to put words in Aaron's mouth. So yeah, no, I'm support all of them. I even support DOA, but my issue is that stop being an ass. Aaron, stop being an ass. We can all calm down. We don't need to ensue hate in our chats or DOA does that too. He yells at them in the chat and he bans them for saying yogurt or like what? And calls them names. So so it's one of those things where we all can cross the line, and it's reflection. It's more of like, hey, you know, this is me, like it or not. Or you can say, you know what, I'm gonna try to be better. Or just say, you know what, I really don't care what you think of me. Like, there's so many different ways on how to handle people's reaction to them, or especially on the internet when you have so many people, keyboard warriors, flying monkeys. I think I'm a flying monkey. So, but I'm just gonna keep doing me. So I saw that someone said that they their partner passed away at your best friend passed away at 42 and you were 30. I'm so sorry. That's horrible. I'm so sorry. Such a great loss. Yes. So, no, definitely with I want to put all this energy and frustration with one another and just throw it at Scientology. Just, you know what, I'm so pissed off right now. I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna take it out all on you. So, yeah, no, I've been struggling this week staying focused because, I mean, Rabbit even did a live, a reaction to DOA and his perception on what was said and Rabbit in his life. So it was one of those, I'm like, oh, wow. I don't know. I was just like, you know, I'm just trying to survive this week. I'm like, so, and I'm trying not to be judgmental. I'm trying not to be angry with someone or say, hey, that, you know, be in the chat saying that's not right. I'm trying to stay out of the chat now. Just because I don't want to say something that's not helpful, or, but still be honest. It's hard to convey things through text because there's no emotion to it, and I'm more blunt when I type, so I'm just like staying out of that. So they are his psychopaths, but I am capable of just digesting all info and making up my own mind. Yeah, and Corn Freak, that's what's so hard about society and human behavior. That's what I've been watching, is that there were 600 some odd people in DOA's chat when he was saying that he was gonna protest SBTV Foundation now, and I'm just like going, huh? And then all these different people are just jumping on that. I'm like, what is happening? I am so thankful I don't raise anybody on a pedestal. We're all fallible. Yeah. After a hit was put on his loved one. Oh my gosh, Rabbit did a piece. Wow. And then, yeah, no, Kimmy, I understand having fun with the protesting, or maybe there's a fun little, you know, thing that you find on the internet, or there's stupid propaganda that's worded really weird, and it's like, wait a minute, and laughing about it. But being entertained while people are, people have been abused, are being abused, potentially abused, especially the new people that have lived under a rock. I don't know what's going on. Um, you don't think the board is healthy? Well, here's the thing. Even with like elections and everything, you are not going to find the perfect person to be a legislator. You're not going to find you're going to like certain points, but not the whole person, whole character. Um it's why I said I was going to be canceled when I was talking to DOA, because I voted for Trump. You can leave now. But I voted for him way back because of his business mind. I lost two people. Business mind. I knew all his shenanigans. I knew he was a chauvinist, whatever. And I hated his personality. But get in there and use your business mind, please. What happened was like shit. But thankfully, there's checks and balances in this world that and lawmakers that are, or lawmakers, attorneys and everything, watching and are prosecuting. So see how the bushes are being shook, the critters are scattering. Oh, yeah. So, hey, I got two people back. Maybe they just didn't want to hear it. But I am not a fan of that human being. I think he's disgusting. But I think everybody has their positives and everybody does it. Like you're just like a little off. Okay, what can be used as a positive in this situation? So I came to this first as a longtime watcher who has done a lot of research for my own. When you know the truth depths of how bad this thing is, the BS doesn't change that. Exactly. Exactly. I never thought I would be a YouTube streamer. Oh, thank God, Peter. I'm not a political person either. I see so many flaws in so many. I'm like, it doesn't matter anymore who you put on the one person. We're not a dictatorship. It's really Congress, so it's. But I know they vote for I don't know. I think the whole thing is shit. So yeah, no, it's this entity is so bad. This cult. I I keep digging and finding the worst type of shit. Um, just worst kind. And their propaganda has not changed. Um, but I found a couple of like old Scientologists that I get on Facebook, and whatever's open for Scientology, I'm like just trolling, just by gathering whatever. This one older guy in Florida, Clearwater, Florida, is saying, "Oh, Scientology wouldn't do that for like that month or that still ongoing summer, like on L. Ron Hubbard way." He didn't believe it. He's like, "Wait a minute, they did that, like for the kids." And he's like, "I haven't been to LA, Oregon in a long time." So I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay." So they don't even believe what's happening. Um, but he should get his ethics in if because he's a sugar daddy. He has a lot of young girls with pictures that are like that just want a conversation with him. So I'm like, okay, things have gotten a little weird in my research. Yeah, no, I don't. No. See, and that's the thing. I don't hold Aaron up high at all. Like it, it, it. To me, no one's perfect, and thankfully, I'm not his girlfriend, a wife, a mother, sibling. But I'm not here gonna wag my finger at people. Um, if they, yeah, you can post me like I did not like that. But it's Doug Kramer's birthday tomorrow. I didn't get the chance to watch him when he was living. Please keep politics. I have learned it is better to keep your views. Oh yeah, no. JNC. I was just saying in reference of looking at someone to fix it all or be on a board or whatever. You're not gonna find the perfect person that everyone agrees on. Um, and I'm not putting anyone on a pedestal or thinking, hey, 99.9% they're amazing. No, even my husband, I'm like, it's like, I'm not going to be like, oh, he says everything right. No, especially living with someone for 20 plus years. You're like, okay, I'm going to focus on the good. DOI was suggesting that if you don't get on board with, yeah, but Kimmy, Rabbit has that he was not trying to, telling people who to watch. That floored, okay. And then, yeah. Oh, Marilyn's doing a live for him tomorrow. I wish I had known of him. See, I was just trying to rewatch the Aftermath series, and I didn't know that several of them created a foundation, Mike Render and everybody. And then also, I wanted to know the results. I was like 2 years late for Aaron to be on the board, on the city council, and I didn't realize, oh, okay, he dropped out because of that one incident video with that girl. I don't know. But it was just trying to catch up on things last summer, and then, that's when Marilyn came on scene with her little Xenu outfit, crocheting, and I didn't even know when she started. I think I noticed in January that she had already a channel. So I was late to following trends, but I wish I had known Doug because I can watch his. He was very smart, very intellectual, and I wish I had a conversation with him, or yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, the whole disconnection, everyone's not gonna agree, guys. Because if we did, we would be in a cult or a clique, and I want to be inclusive. I just love knowing shortcomings and accepting them. Yeah, and I mean, I don't agree with Aaron half the time. I just don't. I'm not gonna love bomb him, And I'm not gonna hate him or be the middle-aged woman that like points my finger and said, you shouldn't have done that. I'm gonna leave that up to, you know, even his kids. Um, like, his the circle around him. Just, you know, be like, hey, checks and balances, dude. I mean, like, you know how you're perceived now, right? But a girl in California that goes, you know what? I don't really like what, you know, I sound like a nagging woman. And I'm not a nagging woman. You live your truth. And if you're 100% that way, or it was a joke, whatever, that's on you. That's not me. That, nope. And if it's around me, that's when I say something, you know, like in my be like, what the hell did you just say? Be like, dude, get it together. He was struck emotionally when he talked about how he thought he was better and smarter than everyone, carrying his handcuffed. Yeah, that's how all of them are. Even to this day, Kelly, who, Intuitive Inquirer, she was out in LA. She's from Sacramento, and we've done auditing together, auditing the SAC org and Saul. But it was one of those situations where she was just following one of the guys leaving, and she was asking him a bunch of questions. He just walked straight into traffic. Like, nope, just straight into traffic. And it was like, they seriously think they can control the world around them. And that's not how life is. There's so much that you cannot control. Even what you think should be a given in life, it's not that way. Trust me. I had to relearn how to walk 3 years ago. It's unbelievably how this life can just flip completely everything you know. Not agreeing and accepting are two different things. An acceptable behavior is accepted with will grow. I actually disagree with that, because if a person has their views and society around them would definitely give them the heads up that no one's accepting that behavior, dude. But the world around, how am I gonna tell someone in California that in Florida you shouldn't do that? Well, how are they gonna listen to me? Looked into a ticket and have a friend going, but I've decided to not spend the money as I don't think I want to put myself in. Yeah. Corn Freak, are you talking about like supporting a friend, or going to my Tony's celebration? Yeah. See, and I haven't met them, so me coming, I don't feel it's appropriate. Gosh, that's so heavy. You were gonna go with a friend? Oh. Jeez. Arizona, I learned my lesson. Do not wear rubber flip-flops. I went to a aunt's memorial, and I had to get out of the house. There was so much family there. And I walked around the block and I saw horses and everything. So I didn't think, hey, I shouldn't be outside. Yeah. Um, it was a lady trimming her tree, bonsai tree type thing. And then with long sleeves and a hat, I'm out there with a dress, flip-flops. She's like, you should not be walking around. And I was like, oh. And she's like, you're not from around here, are you? What happened to the flip-flops is they shrunk a good size, maybe 2 sizes, and dug into my actual skin. I'm shocked at the heat of the pavement. But I was like, here these horses are out on, you know, normal regular grass, not just, out by their stables, but not in. Why can't I? Yeah, no. I'm going to go to Coldwater Run. I would love to go to Clearwater. I would love to. Um, even though it seems really creepy. Though LA is becoming really creepy with how many buildings they have. So I'm just and I'm not trying to be a party pooper beater. It was just so amazing. I could feel his spirit through just watching him on lives. Oh, they were waiting for the wet. Oh, holy crap. Yeah. uh, yeah, I flew into Phoenix and then we were in Mesa. But yeah, no, it's incredible how all of us human beings are interconnected with one another, but then we also like to be by ourselves, but we somehow need a community, and yet not everyone gets along. So then you're trying to find your own community, but even then, you're your own person, and you're gonna do something that's either inappropriate or not okay with someone, and it's all about society checks and balances. Kind of like you're playing in the sandbox and someone's trying to eat it, you'll be like, dude, that, you know how many, like, our feet are in it and everything. And if that person decides not to eat the freaking sand or still eat the sand when they're, like a year later, more people are going to be watching that person eating the sand and telling them, we don't want you around because you're eating the sand. Dude, that's just like an example of inappropriate behavior. There's things that are unacceptable, but for me to constantly wag and me unfollow, or it's not as impactful as someone around them, or living with them, or it'd be like, yeah. And then it goes out. I'm in a different state from where I protest, so it's a bit easier to step back between bids. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, no, I have not been out to the SAC org in a while because of my hand surgery. I've been struggling with rehabilitation. I had to get it put back together by titanium, and it's pissed off. So, even driving or doing anything with the one hand is also affecting my back. And I have a bad back. I have titanium on my back. So everything's just stops again. and I'm stuck researching and fighting a cult wherever and however I can, and contributing to those that have been either silenced or are silenced or are tired of speaking for themselves, you know. Put me in. I'll do what I can. I'm a very small channel. I never thought I would be a YouTuber. I'm not trendy at all. I don't even understand technology. You know, you're correct. But also in a work environment, um, I mean, we even have this environment. So when you find the people and connect with people like George, surrounded by Scientology, or yeah, so surrounded by, sorry. He would be a great one to have that type of guy bond or whatever the heck it is, and back in Aaron to him. So, oh, thank you, Tiara. Yeah, no, I really wanted to know because I also how they safe pointed, and it's and how they handle instead of Chicago being so obvious with handing out flyers, they are very discreet. They are very much their own community, the Scientologists in Sacramento, between the mission. The mission just had a solstice celebration, and it was just them in a backyard at the mission. It's like a little house. Them playing music and like 20 camping chairs. And then they also inside, they all did art or certain art, and they had, not auctions, but you can buy the art, and all the money, all the proceeds went to the mission. So they're definitely have their own businesses too. So one sells insurance. Yeah, so it's very like retirement plans and other things. So they care about their people and how things are handled within. So it's quite interesting versus the others. They're, what is it, Chadwick? He's somewhere in a hole. He's somewhere. He's not out and about. But how I need to find that little snippet where they put where they had that argument between Mike Klagenberg and Larry-Ann. Starts with an I. But yeah, it's very interesting because he's pointing to this young girl getting in her face, and Larry-Ann, who's older, who's been in for like 30 years, backed his ass up and pointed at him, and I mean it's on DOA's live, like totally chewed him out, but his lives go 7 hours, so I'm like, I'm gonna be finding that little clip. But yeah, no, they don't take no crap. The Delphi girl who has a second gen was a few years older than Liz Gale at the Delphi in Oregon. So she remembers her. She was popular. She, in a year and a half, she had 2 kids. So she had one, and then a year and a half later, after having the one, she had another one. 2 different fathers, out of wedlock. and then but married the guy she had the second one with, and he's on staff. So however they handled that, that was in-house. So the ethics handling and for them to be there is not intense as it would be in LA or maybe even Chicago. They do shut it down, but how it, I wouldn't want ethics coming down and bothering my org that's happy. We're doing good work here. We're happy. Leave us alone. So it's a very different community than I've seen from other orgs. So lots of different families. Like 5 different names are all connected to one family. All surnames. So I'm like, holy crap. So if you want to join a cult, join Sacramento Org. You'll definitely have a family there if you don't have one, as long as you stay in good standing. Because poor Liz, that was her org, but not in the location that they have been since 2012. So, well, I've been on here for a little while. Anything else you guys want to talk about? No. Well, I hope everyone has a great day, night, and good weekend. So, it's already July. Can't believe it. So, have a good one, guys. Stay safe. Bye.